I don't feel like a veteran, but it feels good, man. I'm glad to be back, and it's just always a fun week to have every country music fan you can imagine in one spot. I wish they were all coming to see me. That would be my biggest turnout. No, it's really cool, man. I think, again, like, most of the people that are here genuinely love country music, and that's just, every once in a while you have fans that come because their friend brought them or whatever, and they don't, like, I don't listen to country, but like, I would dare say the majority of people that are here are true country fans, and that's always cool. Well, we wrote it a handful of years ago, and I remember thinking, like, once we got done with it, I'm like, man, this is something I would like to do myself. And so we cut it, and we put it out on DSPs, and just let it kind of do its thing. And then we went back to the drawing board, and we're like, okay, well, let's start thinking about a radio single, and what's that look like. And while we're having that conversation, Friends is over here kind of raising its hand. It was doing really well streaming wise, and got on some good playlists and stuff. And so I hit Jason up, and I was like, hey, man, let's take this thing over let's send this one off. And I think the cool thing to me was, like, that song kind of rides both of our lanes a little bit. It's kind of got that driving heavy guitar stuff that is his world, and just fits both of our vocals really well. And he actually he mentioned it at one point, because we had always talked about doing something at some point, and I was like, dude, let's just come sing the second verse on this thing, and let's roll with it, because I've always been a believer in, like, listen to the people that are actually listening to your music. I think that's invaluable, and most artists, even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, didn't have that opportunity, and it's like, why would we not? You know what I mean? So it just kind of, it was pretty organic, and whenever we got everything wrapped up, the label was on board and everything, so it turned out. I'm at 45 right now, man. It's crazy. I've learned a lot in the last year and a half, just as far as, like, timing is everything. But yeah, definitely when we first started cutting music, I was like, man, we got to turn this stuff around. Like, people are, we're on a major tour, we got no music for people to go find, and I don't know, man. I think that there's a time and a place for everything. I think it all, especially with my situation, I feel like I was probably not ready for taking on radio and all the different things that have come at me this year. 2 years ago, I was not ready, and I think some people, especially Jason, saw that, and he's been a huge mentor to me in a lot of ways. But he was like, man, get your legs under you, and then the time will come, and we'll take it. And so it's been cool. He's I'll have to tell you the story the first time I met him another time, but he's from day one, man, he's been super down to earth. He's never promised me he was going to do something that he didn't do, and that's hard to find in any industry, especially the music industry now, I know. But I just, I'm a very loyal guy too, and when I got a crew that's loyal to me, I'm going to bust my ass to make it happen. And he's the same kind of way, and I think when we first met and just had a few conversations, I think we both could tell we were cut from the same cloth in that area. And so he just, I think the more invaluable stuff to me is like, hey, man, this guy's probably going to want you to do this, don't do that, come over here. Find when when I was looking for management, he was like, man, I'm going to set you up here, but you got to find the right fit for you. This just because I like these guys doesn't mean that's the right fit for you. And so just stuff like that, man, that, when you're green and you move to town, you don't think about that stuff, So it's been really cool to see that evolve. And now we're, we text every once in a while and, just shoot dumb texts and whatever. So he's a funny guy too, man. biggest thing probably was just, realizing that, okay, God put this opportunity in front of me. And, it was like I was saying earlier, I was not ready for it 2 or 3 years ago, man. When I first moved here and it started, happening and got signed and all this, it was like, I envisioned it a lot different than it turned out. You know what I mean? But thank God it happened the way it did. And dude, you have kids now. Yeah, dude, when you have kids, man, it's just all the cliches are true. And dude, I've never worked so hard in my life, man. These last couple years, my little girl just turned 2, and I promise you, man, I've got more done in the last 2 years than I have in the last 10. And it's just, yeah, exactly. It's a greater purpose, I guess, and you have someone who depends on you, multiple people who depend on you, and you got to go out there and bring your A game every time. Because, for me, I just look at it as like, because originally, man, I was like, artist is definitely what I want to do long term, and then I got into writing, and I was like, man, I love this part of it too. And I kind of hit that sweet spot where I'm like, I don't really care if it works out or not. I'll be happy writing songs and staying home and doing the normal thing. But it kind of kept presenting itself in a way where I was like, man, I got to jump on this while it's here, And so I'm just really thankful for all the opportunities that have come my way. And fatherhood has definitely changed the trajectory of where my career probably would have ended up. I actually wrote with Tyler Hubbard the other day, and he was a super cool guy, man. It was the first time I met him, and we were just talking about kids, and he's like, man, I don't care who you are. You got kids and you're on the road, I got respect for you, because I think it's just a different animal. You go from staying up and driving through the night or whatever you're doing and stay up till 4 or 5 in the morning, and then you get home, you got to wake up at 7. That clock don't change. Whenever you get home, it's you get up when you have to. And so that part of it for me has probably been the toughest part, just because you don't sleep a lot and you're running on E a lot. But it's great, man. I wouldn't change it for the world. Yeah, man. Especially, if you have a job that requires you to travel a lot, man, when you're home, just be home. Make the time you have quality time. Don't sit on your phone and scroll Instagram, because that's useless. And when your kid's sitting there watching you do that, they think that's more important than them. And so I think that's something I had to learn too, man. I mean, it's I got bad habits too, man, that definitely came to light whenever I had kids too. Got to clean up a lot of areas. But yeah, just be home. When you're home, be home.